And here we go. Digital Adel back with another Hoops Profile Beyond the Backboard podcast for you. We are doing a mock draft by ESPN and the one, the only Jonathan Givony and Jeremy Woo. And this one's a doozy, man. I know people that do a lot of writing for a living, they have to do these mocks. They got to put some controversial picks in there to get people to click and talk about it. And so I get that. But it still always kind of rubs me the wrong way when I see some of these drafts. So we have Matt Hanifan here to give us some of his genuine, authentic reactions. You've never seen this list before, have you?
Well, not this one. This one came out today, and I can't tell you the last time I looked at a mock draft. Actually, no, for Triple H Hot Hoops, I did a mock draft roundup. I've done a couple of those. I usually do a few of those a year when the Heat have picks. So I'll conjure up like a bunch of mock drafts to see like where who has the Heat taking who, and so I think I did that right before the tournament. But other than that, I haven't looked at this now. So. And I haven't looked at one lately.
Perfect. Well, this is great. We are setting up for some magical entertainment here, talking about the 2025 NBA draft. It's crazy. We have measurements out from the high school tournaments for the 2026 class before I have measurements out for the 2025 class.
Hoop Summit, baby.
Yeah, the Nike Hoop Summit. So there were some interesting nuggets and tidbits I took from that for some players that I'm interested in. But anyway, on to 2025 and keeping 2026 a ways away, let's get right into this thing. And to nobody's surprise, or to everybody's surprise, Cooper Flagg goes number 1 to the Utah Jazz. How you feeling, Matt?
I think it's even less surprising that it's Utah.
That's right. Fits right in.
And same thing with Harper, too. I know we have that on the screen, but Harper at 2 is, yeah.
Shocker?
Not surprising.
Oh, I thought you'd have been shocked, Harper at 2. No, he's really good. I mean, he's 6'6", gets downhill with the best of them, great handle. Finishes at the rim, point of attack defense. What's not to like? My only concern, Bub Carrington, AJ Johnson, Dylan Harper, Bilal Coulibaly?
It's a question. I wouldn't throw Coulibaly in that mix, but with those other 3, just because of the role they have.
Right.
Or those other 2, I mean.
But I mean, also Jordan Poole?
Yeah, you got to cut bait with that at some point. I don't know if you're going to have a suitor, though.
There's only one ball to go around. Jordan Poole shoots anything he touches, so.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, I guess. Young, good guards. But I definitely would be getting off the Jordan Poole train. I mean, that contract is ridiculous. There's an NBA floor minimum, right? Like salary minimum?
Yes.
I mean, they keep them to stick to the minimum because they don't have any money committed to this roster other than Middleton, and he's an expiring, right?
I think so. Let me double check that, actually. I want to say he's an expiring, or he's either an expiring or he has just one more year.
I mean, because if I'm Washington, I'm trading those good, quote unquote, good high price guys for complementary pieces to supplement this young core that you have.
The thing is, though, is especially with a guy like Middleton, guys like Jordan Poole, you might have to attach assets. And the reason why at least Washington got Middleton in the first place was they were able to get assets in return, including, AJ Johnson. Like, that would be the one counter argument to that. If they can obviously find a suitor to where they're able to do that, then that should work. But
yeah, AJ Johnson was a steal.
Should be something that they should explore, but I don't know. Like it's tough here. I'm looking up Washington's contract situation right now. Yeah, Middleton has a player option.
Okay, so he's definitely opting into that.
Yeah, he has a player option, which is the last year of his deal. Jordan Poole has 2 more years left after this year for roughly 32 and 34 million,
Yeah.
respectively. Brogdon will come off the books. Marcus
Ooh.
Smart will be on and expiring. Same with Rashawn Holmes.
Yeah.
Man,
So how do
I
they
had
get
higher
to
hopes
the
for Rashawn Holmes when he was in SAC.
how do they get to the floor?
Well, all of that money.
It's gonna come off the books though.
Well, that's in the next year. I'm saying in 25, 26, the Middleton, Poole, Smart, Holmes, Sar, like
Yeah.
quick math in my head, but that's probably around you're looking at like 100, 110 million at least. Um, plus all the other contracts with Koulibaly, with Sadiq Bey, Buck
Yeah.
Carrington, like plus their picks that they'll have, which is on rookie scale contracts, which will be another, anywhere from 5 to 10 million, depending on where they fall in the order, or at least rough. That's like a rough estimate. I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
If they get two, it'll be closer to the 10. So like the floor is really the floor is pretty low. I don't remember what it is exactly,
Okay.
um, but they should have enough.
How do you feel about number 3, Charlotte Hornets snagging Ace Bailey? So you have a Brandon Miller 6'10", Ace Bailey 6'10" wing combo going on.
I don't like I don't like the fit.
No. The fit's awkward, right?
I would rather go VJ. If I'm going like just purely based on fit, I'm going VJ just because it's like they need an athletic, defensive minded guard
Yeah.
next to LaMelo.
Yeah. But I
Even
don't
though
think you can pass up the measurables with the skill at 6'10". I don't think you can do that. Because you talk about the Minnesota team that made a run last season, the amount of functional size they had on the floor with shooting and skill, that wingspan across the court, I like what they're building in that regard.
but then again, like you already have Miles Bridges, you have Brandon Miller, you have all these guys already, and it's just like you just drafted Solomon last year.
Yeah, that's true. But Salawan can size up a little bit.
I know, but I just it would be tough for me to justify Ace's fit. Like he can play off ball with LaMelo and Miller, but
He can absolutely do that.
that's like that's not it. But like I don't know. It would be I would rather just go VJ with like the athleticism, the defensive.
I like VJ there also
Yeah,
because LaMelo's going to dribble the ball to death, and VJ doesn't really need a lot of dribbles to be effective. As long as they get out and run in transition, I could see VJ going there as well. I like VJ there. But VJ ends up going to the Pelicans, and now you have Zion, VJ Edgecombe, Eve Messi as a young budding core, along with all the 3-point shooting if everybody gets healthy.
in a perfect world, I think I would want New Orleans to try to see if they can find a way to get like Dylan Harper. But if VJ is like if they somehow get like if they get the 4th pick and VJ is there for them, I don't mind that. It's just they're a team that needs consolidation. Like I think they should explore trying to trade CJ.
Right.
Um, you could put VJ next to DeJounte Murray, and so I think like that would be the one counter argument to what I just said about getting Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
And that's a solid defensive backcourt. Good athleticism with he and Zion together. Like that would be an interesting watch with Messi. They've been so injury riddled all season to where it's just like I think this team would be somewhat decent next year. The West is weird because it's so deep.
Right.
So there's, a range of outcomes for New Orleans, but like that's a solid foundation if those like if you have Murray, VJ, Zion, assuming he stays healthy, which we've been asking for years, plus Messi. Right. Now that Brandon Ingram's no longer there. So that's not bad.
Absolutely. And if you're hanging out with us live, don't forget to hit the like button so that the algorithm can tell other people that we're here. Drop us a comment as well. That also helps boost us in the algorithm. lets the YouTube overlords know that our show and content is interesting to you. I posted a link in the chat for the mock draft so you can follow along with us if you want. It's also in the description of this video as well. At number 5, the Philadelphia 76ers get Texas shooting guard Trey Johnson, and my heart gets crushed in a million pieces seeing him go to Philadelphia. What do you think, Matt?
They need something because there's few situations in the league worse than Philadelphia's in the sense that, like, with the Paul George thing, Joel Embiid,
Right.
like, who knows if his knee will ever be like 75% of what it used to be again.
Yeah.
In addition to Paul George, they just signed him to a max contract and he's just oft injured and he's not getting any younger. But if you stick a guy like Trey Johnson next to Maxey, that's something to look forward to the future. Like,
But
no
what do
question
you
about
think about the oft injured Joel Embiid insurance and going Kaman Malawach instead?
it. At 5, or just like you trade him and get another pick and then pick Malawach?
Yeah, trade. You could trade back either way. If you find a partner to dance with, that's great. But if not, they don't have any Joel Embiid insurance. They got Adim Bonea, and that's it.
Well, yeah, like the whatever Andre Drummond has left.
Gross.
At some point, they're gonna have to find find an option behind Embiid that, like, a legitimate option. I like Adam Bona.
That's my point. That's my point. They're gonna need, because even if Adam Bona develops further, you're still gonna need a guy that's going to be able to be consistently on the floor. And I think Kaman Malawach would be perfect for what they need when Embiid is out.
I agree. Would you take him over Trey though?
No.
There's the answer to the question.
No.
I think they're in the position to go BPA.
They are. I just have a hard time with roster construction. I love Trey Johnson, and he's an amazing talent, but they have no bigs.
Yeah.
Let's move on to number 6. The Brooklyn Nets get one Jeremiah Fears, who skyrocketed up the draft charts as the tournament in the conference play went on. And it looks like they got a photo of him as he was 13 years old.
I don't think I would take him 6.
I mean, also comment on this photo. Is he 13 in this picture or what?
No comment.
No comment.
This would be interesting. I'm just trying to picture it in my head. Jordy's building something good over there. Or at least I trust him as a coach.
Okay.
So right. I think you could justify this, even though I don't know if I would go Fears over Knipple. We talked about that last time.
Right. You're passing up on, hold on. You're passing up Con Knipple, Kaspers Yakachonis, and Kaman Malawach.
Not to say my viewpoint has changed much, because it hasn't, but a lot of people are down on Yakachonis nowadays. I thought his stock has dipped a little bit just because of the the continued turnovers, the lack of 3-point shooting, even though I think that'll be better at the NBA level with better spacing. I do have questions about him athletically, and those questions that's something I'm looking forward to once the combine rolls around.
Yeah, I don't think he's even going to participate in the combine, but I agree with you.
Why not?
I mean the scrimmage part
of it. Oh, yeah, I don't. I'm just saying, like, just the testing part.
The testing, gotcha. I think he's a better not lateral athlete than people are giving him credit for. I just think he got wore down. Again,
yeah.
A freshman that was asked to handle as much as he handled, where he was averaging almost a triple-double most of the season before he started tailing off. I really think it's a conditioning thing. And not because he's out of shape. It's just if you haven't done it before, you don't realize how taxing that is. So
Yeah.
I'm not as concerned, but it did come up in the tournament and at the end of conference play. So there are going to be those questions, but he's too talented for you to pass. I mean, that guy is a walking potential triple-double every night.
He does a lot of things that, like, in between the box score.
Yes. And he's so crafty around the rim with that body because he's got an NBA body that he's going to draw fouls. Like, I don't know, man. I can't pass up. I can't pass that up. But number 7, the Toronto Raptors take Kaman Malawach out of Duke to pair him with Jonathan Mogbo, Grady Dick, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. No, I'm just kidding.
Ethan Skolnick, assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors.
He's been traded. So what do you think about the Raptors putting the big man in the middle?
I don't think he's a bad replacement for Pirtle, who's a free agent.
Pirtle? No, I actually think he's an upgrade over Pirtle.
Yeah, you could, and especially in the long term.
Yeah, definitely in the long term. I like what he brings as a roller, a vertical, brings the vertical spacing, lob threat, blocking shots around the rim, rebounder. I think he's going to have better 3-point shooting in the pros than he did in college. I think he's got all the upside in the world. Hopefully they don't deport him, which it was speculated that he's having issues with potentially staying in the country.
Yeah.
Not to get into any of the political stuff, but that is part of the evaluation.
I have one concern about this, though.
What is your concern with?
My biggest concern about this is the lack of playmaking Toronto has and how that could hinder him.
True, but we don't know what kind of off-season moves they're going to make either, though.
Well, yeah, it's just like as of right now, as the roster's currently constructed, like I like Quickly. Jamal Shedd's been good for the last,
He's a good backup, man. In real life, I'm being honest.
Yeah,
he's been good, but he's a backup.
No, for sure. Remember our guy Davion Mitchell was this team's best playmaker,
right?
The first half of the season. So like that's where it's just like maybe Barrett takes some sort of like playmaking leap, or
I don't like Barrett.
I don't know. I think Malawach would be better in a situation where there is a true playmaker there. Like, for example, I don't want to say this because this might this might be like black magic or something, but like him in San Antonio, with Fox and Castle, like I think that's better suited for him. I know it's terrifying, him and Wemby,
yes,
because of that size.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. It's like that's like some like dark magic type stuff.
Yeah, don't suggest that, Matt.
But like that's where I would. To me, it's a more seamless fit for him. Like I think in Toronto, while they do have other dudes who can like create and whatnot and like do their thing, I think he would be tasked to do a little bit more, and I'm not sure I want that on his plate yet.
No, I get that, but from a roster construction standpoint, I see what Toronto's building there.
Yeah,
the length, athleticism, the versatility. You're building a roster, so even if you don't have that guy now, you're setting it up for once you get that guy, you can just go. But I get what you mean. It would be a better situation for him personally to land with a playmaker for sure.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe he does show some more self-creation. I still love the player regardless, but like,
right.
If there's one fatal flaw, maybe not even a fatal flaw, but just one flaw, one glaring flaw, it's that he doesn't self-create at the level that you want him to. Yeah.
At all, really. He doesn't really create at all. Yeah. All right. I like it. I like this fit better than Malawach for the Spurs.
We already know how this is going to go. Next.
Getting Con Knipple. That's right. The Spurs get De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, a knockdown shooter that is at worst, like if his career goes off the rails, he's at worst a high level glue guy. At best, he's an all-star that can do a lot for your team. Rebounding.
This would be a home run for San Antonio.
Yeah, absolute knock it out of the park. Don't look back. I love this. I love this pick for them. Absolutely love it.
Yep.
The newly minted contract for Joe Cronin has him selecting Kaspers Yakachonis to make up for his prior mistake of drafting Scoot Henderson. How do you feel about that?
I also think this is more so your Anthony Simons replacement because they've been trying to trade him for a year.
It's a good point.
I don't hate the fit.
He also facilitates better than Scoot.
Yeah.
So what? You move Scoot off ball? I mean, Scoot hasn't even started this season. He comes off the bench. Number 3, the 3rd overall pick in the draft in 2023.
And there's
Cronin deserved that extension. Anyway.
I don't think Cronin gets enough, not to defend him or anything, but he doesn't get any love for him nailing the Kamara trade.
He did a good job with that one.
That piece of it's probably the most important piece of the entire deal.
1 out of 8 isn't bad.
Huh?
I said 1 out of 8 isn't bad.
Yeah. That was about it. But the Kamara piece, that was a home run.
He did, and getting up Dia too. That was a good trade.
Yeah, that was a good trade too.
Yeah.
Even though I still don't love how much they gave up for him.
No. Way too much.
He's been good. He's been very good for them.
He has. I agree with that.
So I think that's a win-win. You could, you already spoiled who is going 11. I already saw it.
Oh no! Pretend you didn't. Number 10, Houston Rockets take Colin Murray Boyles, a undersized offensive player and defensive player to pair with athletically challenged Şengün to go. Well, I mean, he'd come off the bench with Jabari there and all that. But what do you think about Colin Murray Boyles' fit in Houston?
And someone else, Houston desperately needs someone who can create. This is not it. They already have enough. Outside of they're one of the worst half-court offenses in the entire league.
Yeah,
I think they need more shooting. They need more spacing. They need more shot creation.
But they kind of have Reed Shepherd waiting in the wings.
You still need more of it.
More. Give me more. I like it. I agree.
This would just be a weird fit. I don't think this would work out that much. I mean, I think it could be, again, in that system, sure. I think Ime Udoka would like him to a degree just because of how the physicality, the defense. But other than that, he doesn't address a need.
Right. I have a hard time finding a fit for him in almost any place I look.
Yeah,
he's a weird prospect, but people are super high on him. The top 10, I don't see it.
I saw a big board today on Twitter who had him at 2, and I was just like, I can't do it.
Did I didn't tag you in the one? The guy had him at 3. I was like, what?
I can't do it. I just can't. I don't see it.
There's no chance. I mean, top 10, I can't even put him there. Number 11. Your Miami Heat select Derek Queen from Maryland at center for some reason. Your thoughts, Matt?
I have said on record before that I do think the Heat, one of their most glaring needs right now outside of the guard room is a backup big now that they're starting 2 bigs.
Yeah.
And they don't let's just be honest, Kevin Love's a shell of himself at this stage of his career.
How do you feel about this backup big?
With the Heat?
At the 11th pick.
I would not take a backup big, specifically Derek Queen at 11. I'm not.
6'10", has some offensive ability around the basket, off the dribble a little bit. In college, will that translate in the NBA? Can he take NBA level bigs and small forwards off the bounce? I don't know about all that.
This would be a pick like this was me more so when the Heat drafted Ware. I saw it more with Ware than I did with Queen in the sense that, like, I guess my mindset after the fact was like, all right, if they take him or if they take, X, Y, Z, like, I understand it.
Yeah.
And it's just at this point they have enough of a track record to where it's just like, all right, I gotta trust the process, as Philly fans would like to say.
Now, for everybody that jumps on me for motor, this is Javoni and Woo's words, not mine. His motor on the defensive end and on the glass are often questionable. I'm not taking that at 11 in a big.
I just wouldn't take a big at 11 in general. If I know
I'd take Sorber at 11. I would. I'd take Sorber at 11.
If I'm taking it, I just, to me right now, if I know someone's going to be a backup big in the short term and in the long term for this currently constructed team, I wouldn't do it at 11.
No, I get what you're saying with the way the roster's constructed, but I'm saying, like, even at this point, if I was going to take a backup big and I'm the Miami Heat, I'm taking Thomas Sorber over Derek Queen. Like, Sorber's better defensively. He's better on the glass. He's better athlete.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. So, my thing is Queen is a great college player. He has the ability to take bigs off the bounce in college. I just don't think he's going to be able to do that in the NBA. And I'm interested to see what his measurables actually come in at. Number 12, we're going to wait for Matt Hanifan to chime in on this. But they take Jaeger Demeen. I am not a fan of what I saw from Demeen as the year went on. He lacks physicality. He lacks... no worries. We moved on to number 12, Chicago Bulls, and Jaeger Demeen. Unbelievably weird fit since they have Giddey, they have White. It's a weird fit to bring him into the mix. And I have concerns about his athleticism, his lack of physicality, lack of ability to finish around the rim, his athletic profile, his point of attack defense. I got all kind of questions about Jaeger Demeen.
They have so many point guards.
I know.
/ like combo guards in general. Right. Like you mentioned Giddey, Ayo Dosunmu, they got Kobe White, they got Kevin Huerter, they got Lonzo Ball. Like they got all these dudes. Like what exactly?
Did they just sign Lonzo Ball to like a 2-year deal?
Yes, they signed him. I want to say it was right around the deadline. I can't remember if it was before or after.
Right.
But like, what are you trying to accomplish by taking it? It's just a bet on talent, I guess, or at least like long-term upside.
Like upside, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it's just like all of those guys I just mentioned outside of Giddey are on contract next year. Trey Jones is another one, but he's an unrestricted free agent. Giddey's a restricted free agent. I imagine they try to bring him back after how he played this year, even though the price tag continues to go up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Again, the fit to me is we're at a part of this draft where like anything's possible, just because of how weird it is outside of the top 5 with some of these guys. But I don't know if I would. The Bulls are the Bulls, so I don't expect him to draft competently, even though they did get Buzelis, and I think they did hit on that.
Buzelis is that pick where you had no ability to really tell what he was going to be based on the season he had, because that team was so dysfunctional good job. Good on them for being able to recognize it from the workouts and stuff.
But there were certain traits that he had to where it's like, I'm okay taking this. Did they get him? What pick were they again?
I
7?
I
8?
can't remember what pick Matas went.
Okay, it was around the top 10. For some reason, the numbers in my head were either it was 7 or 11.
Now you're gonna make
station.
me look it up, Matt. Oh, I switched. Oops.
That's fine. But it was one of those things where it was like there were certain traits that he had athletically, like he showed some defensive chops.
Yeah.
The shooting wasn't there, but I was
11th.
a buyer.
He was 11th overall.
It was 11th. Okay.
Yeah.
It was either 7 or 11 in my brain, not the gas station.
Your brain's open all the time, Matt.
Yeah, but
He said, "Yeah."
He showed some like traits that were like, okay, I'm okay taking this bet at 11.
Gotcha. No, I makes sense.
In my opinion, at least. Like, I wasn't incredibly high on Matas, but like, there were certain things whenever I would watch G League Ignite, which was not a fun experience last year for anyone.
Not at all. Not for
not even
anybody.
the players.
No.
That I was like, okay, like I think I'm willing to take a swing on this if it gets to a certain pick.
Yeah.
And for them, like
because the athleticism popped even in G League.
Right. I don't see the same thing with Demean.
Not at all. Mm-mm. Moving on to number 13, a Dallas Mavericks Luka Doncic replacement. Liam McNeely. How you feeling about that one, Matt?
I would rather go the guy that's next up just because of the ball handling.
So we're just skipping Liam McNeely altogether.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, high level connector at best, right? At best.
I don't see much of a I don't love that for Dallas. I don't think I would take him that high at all.
So the Atlanta Hawks snagged Jace Richardson. I actually like this pick for them a lot, for several reasons. He's a guy that can come off your bench and give you, starter capable play. And if you do lose trade, you got a guy there that can help with the ball handling and facilitation pieces. They got a plan for life after Trey.
Yeah. Agreed. And this is a good way to go if you need it. Especially if Yakachonis, Fears, and all those guys at the top are off the board.
Yep. I agree.
Last pick of the lottery. Absolutely.
The San Antonio Spurs take a center overseas that neither you or I have seen yet. And that is Joan Behringer. Skip. Orlando Magic, you'll love this one. Your boy, Will Riley. 16th overall. Just what they need, another guard.
Not even that. It's someone who is a project.
Correct.
They did this 2 years ago with Jet Howard.
Yeah. So you have Jet Howard, Will Riley, Anthony Black. What are they doing? I don't see this pick at all.
The one thing that Will Riley can do is something that they need, but like this is a project, guys. You're trying to win.
Yeah, the
offense there has been so dysfunctional for the last few years. I love Jamal Mosley. I think he's like a really good coach, but
yeah,
the one thing that he hasn't done, regardless of Paulo and Franz being there or being on the court, is build a good offense.
Right. I mean, Paulo's shooting has improved. Franz's hasn't.
Are we sure it's improved?
Probably. I don't know. I haven't checked the numbers. It looked like it improved.
There was a point where he was taking like every contested mid-range jumper, and it would bug me just because it's like he's so physically dominant.
Well, that's always been my problem with Paulo.
Right.
He doesn't realize
it's not
how
a new
big
thing, but like,
yeah,
it's still a problem even right now in his third year. And it's just
this year I thought he figured it out early in the season. He was attacking, sprinkling in threes, And then he just went back to contested middies.
Well, yeah, and that's. I wonder if I want to say I can't remember if it was a groin injury or what it was. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but at the same time, it's like his efficiency is so bad,
Yeah.
and that offense's efficiency is in general it's so bad.
Right.
And like injuries aside, because they've dealt with the plenty of injuries this year to Paulo, Franz, and others like Jalen sucks. But like this feels like a reach for a project because
I agree. I agree with you. The Minnesota Timberwolves take Noah Asengu. I understand why they may do this because of the functional size motif they have going on, but I hate this pick at 17. I hate it. I don't like it.
I don't know enough about it, so
he's so inconsistent. I mean, he's raw as well.
Isn't he like? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he like incredibly young?
Mm-hmm. He needs a setup man. He needs a facilitator, someone that's going to get him the ball.
Anthony Edwards. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, as Ant dances on the perimeter and chucks threes all game.
Rob Dillingham? Question mark. Exclamation point question mark.
Rob Dillingham. Don't get me started. Nolan Traore, speaking of small guards, goes to Brooklyn.
So they double up with Fears and Traore?
I literally was going to say that. Javoni, I don't understand what you're doing, Javoni. I don't understand what you're doing.
Get that. It has to be bet on the upside or something. I don't know.
I mean, and he's incredibly small as well. He's not a big guy.
Yeah.
The Wizards take more length.
I could talk myself into this. I like
Danny Wolf next to Sarr, Koulibaly, Bub Carrington.
Washington's building something, man. They might be terrible right now, but they're building something in this mock.
Dude, in this mock draft, hold on. Who did they take?
They got Dylan, didn't they?
They got, man. Oh, yeah, they got Dylan Harper. Jesus.
This is Danny Wolf is your Kyle Kuzma replacement.
Dude, you get Danny Wolf besides Sarr. You have Dylan Harper, Bilal Koulibaly, and Bub Carrington. Dude,
still a lot of size, man.
I like it. Hey, Steven, I like the Danny Wolf pick as well. That's crazy.
I like this.
Yeah, I like that for them a lot. And for those of you who are watching, don't be shy. Put a message in the comment. We want to hear from you. Be like Steven. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oklahoma City at 20 gets Carter Bryant. Another 3-point shooting athletic project that they don't ever have to play until the following season. Because they're so deep already.
Do people remember that Nikola Topic is on their roster? Like, genuine question.
I mean, I do.
No, the
casual fan does not. Like, the casual fan does not. No.
Yeah.
Cody chimes in on playback. I don't like Queen to the Heat at all.
You and me both, brother.
Thank you, Cody, for your honest feedback, and you echo our sentiments.
Okay. Just I know we're bouncing back and forth here a little bit. If Queen was available to, like, let's say they got a guard like Fears or whatever, 10 or wherever they got him. If Queen fell to 22 or like, would you consider it?
Is Thomas Sorber on the board?
No, I'm just in an isolated.
If Queen fell to 22, yes, I would consider it. Okay. If we already have a playmaking guard, I would consider it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because that in my head, I was like, I would not that I would pull the trigger, but I would.
You'd have to think
consider it.
Yeah.
At 22. Anyway, on to Oklahoma City getting Carter Bryant.
The rich get richer.
Love it.
Perfect place to develop. NBA body, athleticism. I like it.
He's gonna fit in defensively too.
If you get Asa Newell at 21, run to the podium.
Okay, but here's the thing, though.
Run.
Mo Wagner.
Okay.
Goga. Like, they have all these. They have so many centers already.
Asa over Mo Wagner any day of the week.
But then you have to find a suitor who's willing to take him. Like, that's what I don't know. I like in a vacuum, yes. If Asa Newell falls to 21, run to the podium. But like,
let me ask you a question:
you need to
Carter
find
Bryant or Asa Newell?
Asa.
Okay.
Again, in a vacuum, I get it, but it's a roster construction thing. That
I get it. I do, but
if
Noah
I'm Orlando,
Asengu,
I would trade out of this pick.
Noah Asengu or Asa Newell?
Newell.
Will Riley or Asa Newell?
He's my number one player in the class. Why would
this is my whole point.
Number one player in the number one big in the class. Jesus.
But this is my whole point, dude. You run to the podium to get that guy if he's there at 21.
They just signed Wendell Carter to an extension. They just signed.
Don't care. He's better than Wendell Carter.
They just signed Mo Wagner. No, but I'm saying like you sign all these guys to an extension and then you draft a guy to play over.
But you don't you don't compound mistakes by missing on a better guy. You can't do it.
No, what I'm suggesting is like, then why do you sign these guys to an extension?
I agree with you.
They signed all three of them to an extension. Wendell Carter's on the books for the next 3 years after this. Mo Wagner's
When's the last time Wendell Carter was good?
He's always been a fine center.
He's okay.
But like, then you would have to trade these guys and you have to find suitors who are willing to take on that money. That's my point.
Do whatever you got to do, man. You're taking Asa Newell. I'm definitely not taking Hugo Gonzalez.
Because it's like you're admitting that you made mistakes, which one could argue they did or didn't. But you're admitting you make mistakes, but then, like, I guess if they had just one pick or since they have 2 picks, I think it's more justifiable. But at the same time, it's like I think I would try to go a route where I could just again get more shooting because I don't think this is a need. Or you trade back with someone who wants Newell.
And I think there would be a line of suitors to get Newell at 21, including the Miami Heat. Number 22, the Utah Jazz take little seen prospect Hugo Gonzalez because he never plays. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's a Utah thing to do though. Just shoot on upside.
I mean, is there upside? I've never seen him play. He plays 5 minutes a game.
You know, I'm saying in their mind.
I guess I'm completely out on Hugo Gonzalez. Completely out. Number 23, the Miami Heat select Ben Serif.
Turn the card in.
Turn it in. Sprint to the podium. Number 23. Get that guy. I love it. If you've never seen this kid play, he's a bundle of energy. Good ball handler. Fast.
He kind of reminds me of Goran.
Yeah, he does. He kind of does.
Not saying that just because he's lefty, but
lefty, European, you know.
Just not physical like Goran. That's
no, he's all finesse, man. He doesn't like, but he's a good point of attack defender, which is weird.
Yeah.
But he does not like the contact.
No.
And his jump shot needs some work.
Yeah.
But when he sets his feet, he can shoot it. It's just he never sets his feet, and he's typically off balance, fading away for some reason.
Yeah.
He'll fade right, he'll fade left, he'll fade back. Never straight up and down. The Indiana Pacers, what a steal.
That would be incredible.
What a steal. Thomas Sorber. Wow.
They've needed a backup big for a while.
Yeah, and he's the future Miles Turner replacement because he's a starter capable center.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. That would be a home run, injury aside.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Atlanta Hawks select Nick Clifford to add to that room.
Don't hate it. Do not hate it. Although With Jalen and Risa Shea, I'd be very interested to see how Neek does in a little bit of a smaller role. But
Yeah,
I think he'll be fine.
right. The
That's the bet
Brooklyn
you're taking
Nets.
on at 25.
The Brooklyn Nets take your guy, the bull in a china shop, Adel Theroux.
They list him as a power forward?
He's not.
No. um, this would be interesting for sure.
I'd like this pick for them. How
Very
many picks
athletic.
does Brooklyn have?
They have, I think, 4 firsts, which is evidenced by this being their 4th pick.
Holy crap. They take Yaxel Lindenborg at 27. I think it's a little high. He's going back to school, isn't he?
Yeah, he transferred. Where did he transfer to again? Was it
Let me look.
Was it Michigan? Is my brain going crazy?
It probably was. Hold on.
Yeah, Michigan.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know why he's still in here on their mock, but
for the love of goodness, why?
Number 28, the Boston Celtics select Walter Clayton Jr., and collectively the Miami Heat fans' head explodes. 3-point shooting, 3-point shooting, 3-point shooting, 3-point shooting.
If I'm being completely honest, I'm still not sold on him as a late first, depending on who's available. I could see it. I could reason with it, but like in my own head, I still think he's like an early second.
Yeah. He takes bad shots.
Yeah. And he doesn't do much else.
I mean, he's got a good handle. He can get downhill in a hurry, but he doesn't really facilitate all that well. But man, can he shoot that ball. A lot like Patty Mills.
Yeah. I think he can, or I mean, like Patty's obviously, I think, a better shooter than him.
I mean, he had a great career, but I'm saying he's in that mold, coming off screens, coming off PNRs,
he's off ball.
tough shots. Yeah.
I think Walter can develop the defense, the playmaking, the feel for, like, I think he can develop that part of it, sure, but I just don't see that right now. And I think in a certain context, I think he'll thrive just because he's in a smaller role.
Right.
And so they're not going to ask him to do a whole lot, because he was asked to do a lot for that Florida team, especially in, certain games like late in the season.
Oh yeah.
During their national title run, where it's like he was their offense. And so it's like in a smaller role, I think he could do really well, which, like, if you're a team at the end of the first round that can offer that to him like Boston can.
Yeah.
That's a good fit.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit late first or early second. I'm fine either way. The Phoenix Suns take Alex Condon. I hate this pick. I'm not a Condon fan at all.
I wouldn't take him in the first.
Well, especially when you have Oso Ighodaro there as well. Like, they're like very similar styles of player.
Well, is Nick Richards? Is he? I think his contract's expiring. Maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take Condon in the first. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. He's just not very physical.
He should probably go back to school.
Yeah, I think so too, because he's just not very physical. He's a good 3-point shooter. He'll hustle for you, but he'll get beat up defensively. He'll get pushed around. He can't establish position on his own on the inside. He's a project for sure. Rasheer Fleming, all the way at 30, goes to the Clippers. That's a great pick for him.
Agreed.
Great landing spot for him.
Agreed.
Especially because he'll get playing time there with all the injuries. Kawhi Leonard's always out. Yeah, I like it. Second round we'll run through very quick. Minnesota takes Drake Powell. I mean, if you want to take a flyer on a defensive guy that could develop, but I think he goes back to school. The Celtics take Noah Penda. Hornets take Ryan Kalkbrenner and Alex Karaban. I like Alex Karaban. He's a nice role player. Sixers, there's your Embiid backup. Maxim Reynaud. Brooklyn takes Sturts, even though he's staying in college. Spurs get Broom. Wait, why is Tahad Pettiford in this mock? If Pettiford goes, he's not going to go in the second round. I can assure you of that. The Wizards,
I do wonder what teams think about his size or lack thereof.
Yeah, I was going to say he's small. But I think he's more explosive vertically than Rob.
No, I agree. But I wonder, like I'd like to be a fly on the wall if I was in a room with all of those executives and they go over the Tahad Pettiford eval.
Yeah, it would be very interesting for sure. The Golden State Warriors get Chaz Lanier. Great fit.
Ooh, that's a really good fit for him.
Yeah, that's a great fit. Sacramento Kings take Milos Uzan. Jazz get Isaiah Evans. I actually like that for them.
They get Coop and Evans?
Yeah, I like that for them. This mock doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to tell you why. There's one name for Duke that we have not heard.
Yeah.
Where's Tyrese Proctor?
Staying in school. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess.
I'm guessing he's probably after the aforementioned names here.
The Bulls take your guy, Darian Williams. Thunder get Toppin. What? Because why not? Orlando takes Cam Jones because you need another guard. The Bucks take Tonje. He's a super senior.
Yeah.
Eric Dixon gets drafted. I doubt it. Miles Bird goes to the Jazz. Markovich goes to the Suns. There's Proctor. There's no way Proctor goes after Evans this late. There's no way he goes at 15.
I don't even think Evans goes out, so you're right.
I don't think he does either, but I'm saying this is way too low for Proctor.
Yeah.
Memphis takes Sion James. Okay, we're just naming Duke players at this point. Indiana takes Barea because they need more three-point shooting. They don't have enough.
Yeah.
The Lakers take Cedric Coward. Grizzlies take Dink Pate. I wouldn't. And that is the end of this mock draft.
I mean, again, at that point, it's like you're throwing darts open for something.
Correct. I agree. I agree, man. So that's the mock draft. Let us know what you think in the comments down below of that mock. Florida national champs. Mike Malone fired along with Calvin Booth, the GM in Denver. Crazy, wacky, wild sports day. Again, let us know what you think about all of it in the comments down below. Matt, how do you want to end the show today?
One, I just want to say, I kind of feel bad for Emmanuel Sharp. He's never going to forget that. He's never going to not regret that. But hey, man, sometimes it just stuff happens. Congratulations to Florida, national champions.
Heck of a job by them, fighting all the way to the end.
A part of me is also gutted for Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, devastating.
It's just there's only one coach who could be at the mountaintop at the end, and Houston's never won a national title game, and a possession away.
Matter of fact, not just a possession away, but they turned the ball over 3 times down the stretch.
4.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
I think it was 4. Maybe either way. Regardless,
very tough way to lose a game. Very tough.
I don't know how Kelvin's gonna sleep.
It's gonna be rough.
I just don't know. I don't know, man. I was watching that last night. They showed they showed his reaction at that possession. I'd be like, he's just looking into the depths of darkness after. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, people. Well, again, you can follow me and find me on Twitter, on Blue Sky, under Digital Adel. Subscribe to our playback channel playback.tv/hoops profile, where you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Matt Hanifan, where can they find you, follow you, and get more of your work?
You can find me at mph_824_ on Twitter. You can find me at hothoops.com, mountainwestconnection.com, vendettasportsmedia.com, where at some point I will be doing draft profiles for all of these guys. In addition to, I'll be doing this is going to make Adel happy. I will be doing a series where I'm just players that I missed in the draft over the years, and Anthony Black is on that list. And no, I'm not joking when I say that.
I am shocked that you're going to actually make that article. I will be tuned in. You read it. Everybody read it. It'll be must see TV.
I've had some bad misses, man. I'm not. There's a reason why I have to prove myself as an evaluator, because it's like I got some misses in there.
I mean, we all have misses. I mean, it's if anybody was 100%, they'd be a GM somewhere or the head scout somewhere, or because even the head scouts miss. Even the best of the best.
There's so many GMs out there who just aren't
good at it. Yeah,
good at it.
I know. But
as a man of integrity, got to hold myself accountable.
Hold yourself accountable. I mean, I've had my misses throughout the years also. I try to forget them as quickly as possible. But no, man, we're going to do a big board as well. I want to make that a thing so we can always go back and reference our picks. So we're going to do that at some point, probably in the off season when we need to fill content. But we're going to continue to have these every Tuesday and Thursday right here at 3:45 on YouTube and playback.tv. So for Matt Hanifan and I, we'll see you next time.